Hey guys, it's me Shane, and I'm here once again to bring you a Yashahime Half Demon Princess anime review and recap. I have some notes here, as you can tell from the look on my face. I am feeling some kind of way, so I got notes. I got some ending notes. I'm gonna get straight to it and tell you what I think. So, if we remember last time, it was basically telling us what happened in between the parts of episode one when they were given when Towa was given a history lesson on what was going on with Inuyasha, and the viewers, were able to see what was going on with Inuyasha, Kagome, etc., etc., etc. And this is continuing from that. Moroha and Setsuna are racing ahead, trying to catch the demon owl, whose name I believe is Yotsume, and they jump over Takishio. He's still frozen from Fubuki, the demon bear. He gets so angry that he bursts free because he's like, "How dare you just run over me and just forget me?" Towa grabs him, says, "Hey, I can't catch up to them. Can you fly me?" He's like, why should I?" She throws a gummy in his mouth. He's like, "Hey, I got these rock paper scissors gummies. I got more of these," and he loves them, so of course he's gonna take them. And a quick note on the opening feels generic. Of course, I know it because I've seen 8 episodes of this, and it'll probably begin to make me like it. But yeah, opening's kind of generic when I think about it. But anyway, we get to the point where we get to the point actually where we see Jubei, the corpse dealer. He's fishing, and here comes Riku. I thought his name was Riki, but apparently his name is Riku. But he travels down. We saw him last time after he got Towa arrested for stealing the real sword, and apparently this guy is the client. I'm skipping ahead, even though I'm not going note for note. But he is the person that has hired the three princesses to kill the four perils because he hates the four perils. I'm going to go on a limb and say that he is either a relative of Kirimaru, he's either kind of like a part of Kirimaru's self, kind of like how Naraku had, he had those different parts in himself. The one fan one, what's her name? Kagura. I love Kagura. Kagura was cool. He's probably something like that because I'm seeing a lot of rehashing. Anyway, he's the one who has contracted them. He, taps the pearl, sprinkles some. He makes gold dust out of nothing and puts it in the sack for Jubei. And Jubei has shown that he has a green pearl, and Riku says, you know, I want them to kill the four perils, and then I'll take their rainbow pearls, which I called it last week. I said it's called rainbow pearls. We've already seen three. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be seven of these. And now, to my count, we see three. We see another two here. We're gonna see a sixth one in the middle of the episode. And Jubei just flat out says, "With your power, couldn't you just kill them yourself?" And he says, "I told you before, I hate them. My policy is to kill things that I love." He sounds like a generic anime villain, but moving on from that, we we get to the part where Yotsume gets to the cave where Kyuki is. She blocked him from getting in with a barrier and says, "You're an idiot. You led them right towards me. Don't you know they're following you?" And she sends out the purple pearl and gives him the pearl, says, "Use this, find out their weaknesses." Because apparently he has an ability called, the name of this episode is called, the gazing dream. I'm sorry, the dream gazing trap. That's the name of this episode. So he has an ability to gaze into the dreams. So when he gets this pearl, not only does he grow in size and he gets a little bit more fierce looking, as you see behind me, he gets the fifth eye. There's a fifth eye in his head. And by the time all this has happened, Moroha Setsuna is caught up with him. Moroha uses her sacred arrows to pin him to the side of the mountain. And after he's pinned down, he fires a beam from it because Moroha's about to finish him off. But of course, it didn't work. The beam then saps her of her energy and she falls down. And she's trying to tell Setsuna, "Don't get hit by this. By no means get hit by this attack." So Satsuna's kind of dodging around and just trying to keep them safe, and she puts Moroha behind a rock formation jumps up and is getting ready to strike, and she gets hit by the beam, but nothing happens. And he said, "Oh, you can't dream." Eh. So this is where her curse becomes a blessing, somewhat. Make sure I keep up with all this. And now we have Takishio. Why does he have such a long name? Takishio and Towa still right on top of him. She's saying, why you gotta fly faster. And he's like, this is as fast as I can go. She drops him a pineapple flavored gummy to get him fired up. He did not move any faster from what I could see. But, excuse me. Eventually, they did catch up. And he fired when Setsuna was trying to tell her to watch out. He fired a beam, hit both of them. They fall down. And at this point, now Moroha, Towa, and Takishio are falling asleep. And apparently, they have this purple haze above their head, which Setsuna can see this. So she uses her Naginata, sends a cyclone burst to get all of this fog, I guess, off of them. But before that, because it has a weird added effect of showing each other their dreams, except for Towa. Towa has her own dream. Towa's dream is apparently the only one that is also shared. But Moroha sees Takishio's dream, and Takishio sees Moroha's dream. Let's go on to Takishio's dream. Apparently, flat out, Moroku brings Hachi, I think his name's Hachi's son, to Jubei. And he's saying, you bringing the young lord to me. He's a young lord, trying to keep him safe. But apparently, he says, if he's going to be with me, I'm going to have to, I can't treat him like I treated him before. He's going to have to do work and stuff. And we just have Moroku nod his head. He doesn't talk. They're trying to be coy, but we know it's Moroku. Before I continue, the actor Kirby Morrow, he passed away at 47. Actually passed away yesterday. He was the voice actor of Moroku in the English series. He's also the voice actor of Cyclops from X-Men Evolution, and he's done the voice of Goku, early Goku. So, condolences to him and his family. May he rest in peace. May he rest in power. Just wanted to throw that in there real quick because I'm talking about Moroku. So now, Moroha saying, as she looked at this dream, who is that? I don't know who this is, which that's why I have some feelings about this episode, because they're making my girl dumb. Making her really dumb, because you could tell he's barely any different than what he looks like right now. He is literally the same height, and you know that's the corpse dealer because you deal with him. Regardless, it is Moroha's dream that Takishio sees that is very interesting. Because at this point, we see a baby Moroha being held by Kagome, saying, you're such a good girl. And walking up the steps of what looks like a shrine is Kiramaru to the left, Shishomaru to the right. And Inuyasha pulls out the Tetsaiga saying, Kagome, they're on their way. She brings out the clam pearl shell and says, we always said if we had a girl, we would give this to her. This was my mom's. So I'm guessing the clamshell was her mom's. The rouge probably was from the Great Demon Dog. I'm pretty sure Miyoga probably helped her get that. And Kagome cries. She tucks it into her little swaddle, and we see Hachi. Hachi's above in his giant balloon form. She says, take her away to safety. Wow. And at this point, Kiramaru and Shishomaru are both face to face with them. And that's where that dream ends. And now we have the dream of Towa, which is apparently she is the dream butterfly. Lands on Setsuna. The flowers around her dies. And she's like, oh, so this is how's it going, how it's going on. And make sure I'm paying attention. The dream continues, but before it continues, Setsuna does her swallow technique, completely kills Yotsume while he's on that wall. He's nothing. He's dead, burned into ashes. The pearl flies back to Kyuki, and as we continue the dream, because Kyuki is able to see she can at least see this dream to learn their weaknesses, which She didn't really learn any weaknesses. But anyway, the butterfly goes back to the Tree of Ages. And the Tree of Ages says it's kind of, it's kind of sad that, you can't sleep. It's even sadder when you sleep forever. And we see Ren in the tree again. And it looks like the butterfly is giving Ren the dream energy. And the Tree of Ages says, don't you think that's true? Half princess. And that's when Towa wakes up after Moroha and Takishio already woken up. But that's when she wakes up. So apparently, even within the dream realm, the Tree of Ages has some kind of power. More on that part later. I'm just going to do a little note. Oh, actually, I already did it already. So, Takishio reminds them, you're about to fight one of the four perils. Get it together. Of course, they go in to meet Kyuki. Kyuki says, I know who you are. Half demon princesses. You're the enemies of Kirimaru, and I'm going to kill you. And then she does a move we've seen before in Inuyasha. Probably another anime as well. She makes her nail a whip, and they're dodging the whip and so forth. And she begins goading Moroha into using her ruse. She begins goading her and says, why don't you use your full power? Use your demon, use your ruse, Inuyasha. And she goes, what, I will. And Towa and Sasuna are both saying, you probably shouldn't do that. There's something weird going on. And she does the whole chant and she puts it on and, looks adorable. Nothing happens because Kyuki modified Yotsume's power with the pearl and allowed it to absorb demon energy. So her demon energy is gone, apparently. The little bit that she had. Remember, she is, technically she is a half demon. So, Lord help me. So, while they go on the realization that both her and Towa don't have the power to fight her, Sasuna says, well, I'll be the one to fight you. And it's she's having a bit of a trouble, but at this point, Kyuki really says, okay, so you telling him you couldn't dream wasn't a lie, it was actually the truth. She transforms into her full winged tiger demon form, which they're in the mountain base. The precipice of the mountain base explodes because of how big she is. And that's when the fight continues, and she's using the pearl that's on her tongue to absorb every attack she sends. She sends her swallow attack, gets absorbed. Excuse me. And interesting to note, I guess when demons are in larger form, their mouths don't move when they're like that. I remember Shishomaru being in his giant dog form. He never saw his mouth move, but didn't the demon boar mouth move? I don't know. I'm just making note of what I see with animation. And so, at this point, Towa and Moroha, Takishio is not here. I guess he flew off, but they make a note that when they fought the ghost cats, Towa had ended up absorbing the demon energy from the monk as to not kill him. And she brings up the Myoga said you have the ability to seal demon energy. And Towa admits, she's like, I was in the heat of a moment. I don't even know how I did it. So Moroha slashes her. And she goes, what the heck was that? And she said, just feel. We see 4 marks of like purple demon energy. She absorbs it. Her broken sword becomes a little broken knife. Which, if she had all her demon energy absorbed, I don't know how she was able to do that. Maybe it's just residual from the attack. Because once she goes into battle and she gets tiger swipe, she absorbs the residual energy. She even says it's residual, and her sword's getting longer and longer. And she waits for the perfect moment when Kyuki is, laughing because Satsuma tries to use her cyclone burst, which got absorbed as well, jumps in and stabs her in the mouth. Does not have enough force or resolve behind it. It was enough demon energy, but not enough resolve. And she is sent flying. In the meantime, Riku or Riki or whatever his name is, our Bishonen client, is writing in on Takishio, and he's saying it's very rare for you to want to see these, and he said, I want to see this one. He's saying he wants to, in his mind, he's now saying, I want to see the Azure Dragon wave that Towa inherited from Shishomaru. Don't know if that was in the original series towards then, or if that's a new thing. I didn't finish the end part of Inuyasha. I'm going to assume that it is a new thing. I'm assuming that because it looks like a lot of their attacks are new or reflavored. I digress. They lament on her not having enough resolve, and she's standing there like, why? And Kyuki uses her tiger tail, just took her weapon and just flinging it about like it's a third limb, fifth limb. And as she's about to get hit, as Towa's about to get hit again, Sasuna jumps in the way and just a piece of rock smacks right in the head. She goes flying, and Moroha's trying to check on her. It looks like she just goes limp. Another thing I'm making note of. And this, of course, gives our protagonist the ability to get so angry, saying, this happened before. So remember in episode 2, she pushed her out of the way of the falling tree. I'm the big sister, I'm the older twin. Why am I always getting saved? Pulls a Jedi trick and brings her saber back to her, cutting Kyuki's tail. And now, she's fully charged up, anime aura on blast. We see a dragon that's curled around her energy sword, and then I got the eye that they have with that the twins have, the pearl. It glows because Sasuna's was glowing earlier, but now Towa's turn is glowing, and I got to make a note. Animation on it's kind of bad. I don't like it because it's in 3D, and you could have done something different. I don't know. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but she does that same attack before where a dragon came out of the tip of this energy blade. I thought it killed Kyuki. It did not. It just hurt her so much that the pearl came out of her mouth and she reverted back to her humanoid form. And the moment that Sasuna, gets up, she just says to Moroha, I just fainted for a moment. Towa runs over, check on her little sister, and Kyuki's trying to claw her way over to the pearl. Riku steps on her foot and says, you lost to a half-ass Azure Dragon Wave. And she knows him. She's like, Riku? Why are you here? And he's reaching down, he picks up the pearl, and he's saying, that's why I really hate you guys, and taps his earring. She says, damn you, as her skin melts off. So he just kills her himself. Literally the same thing that Jubei said. All the girls really did was weaken him. He killed her. And at this point, day is starting to break. Towa gives Setsuna a band-aid. Never seen a band-aid before. That moment was kind of cute. They are formally introduced to Riku being their client because Towa's being very familiar, and of course Takishio is being a little bratty characters. And that is where our episode ended. The next time, apparently, demons from the mainland are going after this little demon turtle boy whose father was killed by them. I need to really do some research on what they mean by the mainland, because if they're on a different island in Japan, because the island nation of Japan is made up of different islands that just make the whole nation. So I need to figure out what they mean by that, because they all still look vaguely Japanese to me, unless they're talking about Korea or China. So usually I rate everything out of 5. And in my heart of hearts, I want to give this a 2. I want to give this a 2 because in my notes, this is what I have. So losing consciousness. Sleeping, you lose consciousness. So she can't be put to sleep. But she can faint for a moment. I would assume that you couldn't faint because you can't be put to sleep, because I'm assuming you couldn't lose consciousness. But okay, cool. I'll push that to the side. Why? If more, we saw earlier, I don't know if it was last episode or episode before last, but Moroha, who couldn't use her demon energy, used the sacred arrows. She used them in this episode. Sacred arrows don't run on demon energy. Why did she not use the sacred arrows to fight? It feels like a cop-out. It feels like they're hoping that you forgot. Kind of a plot hole. And I'm so annoyed by the fact that they made she's my favorite character in Yashahime, because she was very competent, and now we get to the point where she's in a dream. And I get people have fleeting dreams. We all wake up and forget a dream, but in the dream, there's no way she couldn't tell that the little guy was the same little guy they traveled with. That's just me. Why is Shishomaru a bad guy? why is he working with Kiramaru when the tree said, well, he needs to kill him? And then we saw him with the tree. I have a theory that maybe the Tree of Ages is the bad guy. The Tree of Ages has kidnapped Rin, and Shishomaru is doing all this to free Rin. It's probably, this feels like a generic kind of anime thing, kind of how Riku, or Riki, whatever his name is, how he feels like a generic anime villain with the whole I killed the things I love. And I just, after everything they went through in the show, I find it very hard to believe that Shishomaru has to be bad again, but maybe it's just a red herring to throw us off the track. I don't know. And yeah, I called it. I knew there was going to be 7 Demon Pearls. Just, hey, Ren might not be the mother. Maybe because if we're going to make Shishomaru this jackass that does anything to save Ren, I can see him going off, finding a human, having children with her just to use the children to free Ren, which would just regress him all the way back to being that ridiculously evil person. Like, I like him because he's cutthroat and he's cool, and I like him because he gets down to business and he's a very cool character. But you shouldn't regress characters, and I hope that's not what's happening. This is just my speculation, and I'm hoping this whole 7 pearls thing doesn't become the new Shikonju shard uh, side quest that they're doing, or main quest, or whatever that they're doing, because I can easily see the jewels getting split up. They losing the jewels from their eyes and from the clamshell, and now we got to go find them. That'll probably be a thing that'll happen. But because we progressed the story in a way that leaves you wanting to know what the heck is happening, and we're seeing glimpses. I'm giving it a 4 for that alone. That gets a 4 because of what we saw in that dream. But some of this stuff just worries me and bothers me. I hope in the search of trying to make this different and trying to appease people that we're not going to rehash and do dumb things. But who knows? And it's too late. I've already started, so I'm in this for the long haul. But tell me, did you watch the episode? What do you think? Are you do you think Shishomaru's bad? Do you think the Tree of Ages is behind all this and eventually is going to be the big bad? Do you think that Naraku was part of Roothead and is corrupting the Tree of Ages? I really hope Moroku does not show back up. Let me know what you think down below. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to get notified of more videos like this, and please share the video. We want everyone to see these reviews that we're talking about. I know you're talking about them. Come on. Thank you for showing up as always. Be good. Be blessed. Wear a mask. Wash your hands. Black Lives Matter. And I will definitely see you next time.